Child, Brian McKnight decided to make everything worse by going on live, and it's just giving go lay down. And they say Megan Good and Jonathan Majors is dating, but I'm calling cap. Y'all ready to jose? Let's jose.
Come on, Blazer.
It's the beef for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Voodoo back with a quick little jose, and we about to jose Brian McKnight and his churn, and we also got the jose Jonathan Majors and Megan Good allegedly dating. Listen, let me tell y'all something. This has been a week full of cap, and when I say cap, I mean like cap, straight up cap. Girl, first of all, let's start with Brian McKnight. Brian McKnight decides to jump off on the internet and tell us, I'm thinking he had a PR team, somebody write him up something good, but it looks to me Brian McKnight decided to put pen to pad and read off on an online rant, basically talking about how he don't give a damn what y'all say about him. He ain't dealing with them churn. He got new churn in a new family. And I said, oh my God. He could have just not said nothing at this point and just get dragged in silence. But no, Brian McKnight had to come up and act a fool. Now, it was given very much so. I understand why your churn don't deal with you. It was given that you really believe you in a better situation right now than you ever was. It's given that I want to love on my white family and to hell with the black one. That's what it's given. I'm sorry. That's what it's given. And I hate the fact that Brian McKnight is another black man getting up on this internet and basically dragging his black children. And we wonder why. Well, I'll say this. This is why when there are black men who want to be involved with their children, I advocate for it, because this is the typical black man. Just saying what I say, period. But anyway, so he goes on this rant, child, and was talking about how, like, those kids and I are estranged and it's mutual. And he also talked about how the new baby Brian, even though he have a little Brian, a Brian Jr., he said that's the old Brian Jr. He got a new Brian Jr. This one is half Asian and half black, a little Blasian. And the other two churn, Brian and Brianna, because you know black people love naming their churn after their daddy, child. But Brian and Brianna are a thing of the past, okay? He said, get over it. He got a new family. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. He also said that he went into a doggone court hearing and had a whole court thing behind basically saying that his daughter had practice some sort of incest with a cousin or something like that. And to me, even if that was true, you a dirty dog for even getting up here saying that. But allegedly or apparently, according to him, he said they went to court, settled out of court for $318,000. But in his simple mind, he believes that means he won the case. Like that clears his name. No fool. Clearing your name would be y'all going to court and they realizing it was all BS and you was telling the truth. If you settled out of court, then that means y'all just came to an agreement. But neither here nor there. Listen, I'm about to let y'all listen to this doggone clip that he put up online, and I'm going to come back with a little bit more commentary.
There's been a lot of discussion online lately about how I talk about my family on social media. Typically, I prefer not to give attention to the internet trolls, but now my family is being harassed online and accosted in public, apparently because some people can't handle seeing my happily ever after. Coming after me is one thing, but the moment you come after my wife and our children, it's another story. Because even more important to me than defending my name is defending and protecting them. There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead, I post about the children with whom I do have relationships, with whom I am proud of, and about whom I want to share my pride in their accomplishments. I don't live in the past. I live in the present and the future. I am so proud of the man I am today, the husband I am to my wife Leilani, and the father I am to our children. I'm so proud of our love, our family, our life. So I will, without apology, continue to shout about it as loud as I can. If you can't help or handle seeing happiness and love, then I respectfully ask you, why are you even on my page? Maybe you should ask yourself that too. I want to address some of these recent discussions. There is a very simple reason why I post about some of my children on social media and not others. The children that I do not currently have relationships with, I don't post about them. Instead of contract. I posted a page from the lawsuit here and the file number down below so you can look this up for yourself. And you will see that she did not ask for an apology or even ask that I remove the alleged false statement from the internet. All she asked for and all she wanted was money. The case was dismissed before there was any decision whether my statement about her was defamatory. We settled the case earlier this year, and I agreed to pay Brianna some money, but here's the interesting part. She sued me for defamation and breach of $1 million life insurance policy, and I agreed to pay her $318,000 with no admission of any wrongdoing whatsoever. You heard that right. She dismissed a $1 million case in exchange for payment of $318,000 with no admission that I did anything wrong and no requirement that I retract my statement or remove it from the breach of contract. If someone said that I did something I didn't do and I won a case proving that I didn't, I demand a public apology. I demand an acknowledgement of wrongdoing, and I demand a retraction of statements. The face value of that life insurance policy was $300,000 with $18,000 worth of interest. I did not defame her. I made no false statements. I made up no stories. You can do what you will with that information in deciding who you think won the case. Finally, I want to address the abandonment issue for the last time. Those kids and I have had a long history of conflicts, mutual estrangements, and resolutions. But there was a time when we were truly a successfully blended family. Julia, Jack, BJ, Nico, and Brianna. Our home was filled with love and acceptance, so much so that the kids were all calling each other siblings, contrary to the picture that's been painted online. Christmases, birthdays, Thanksgivings, Friendsgivings, all spent together, even standing up for me as my best man in our wedding, along with their brother Jack, which I posted a pic of here. Shortly thereafter, I never abandoned anyone. Our estrangement was mutual, but those posts made any roads towards reconciliation and acknowledging them a dead issue. And I changed my will the next day. I've spent the last 30 plus years building a recognized, respectable name, and ironically, there are still people out there who are trying to smear my name while still carrying it, hoping to use it for their own benefit. I make absolutely no apologies for naming my infant son Brian. I want him and the world to know that he is the one who is my true legacy. So I'll be over here, continuing to love and protect my wife and our children as we continue to love our life.
Girl, so did y'all hear that? Brian said with a smile, a ugly, weird smirk on his face, he said what he said. That's basically what he's saying. He said he ain't worried about Lil Brian or Lil Brianna. He got a new Brian, Lil Brian, and the fact that he could shrug his shoulders and be like those kids and be so matter of fact and so nonchalant, that tells me something is wrong with you, Brian. Something happened to you when you was raised. Something clicked in your head with your mama and daddy, or if you even know your daddy or whatever. Something disconnected you from love. I can tell. And Leilani, you better run. Leilani, you in trouble, girl. If he could disconnect from the first set of churn, he can probably disconnect from yours. And the only reason I'm going to say probably is because he's probably one of those dudes just so happy to have a little biracial. You know what I'm saying? So he going to probably give them a little more grace. But at the end of the day, Brian McKnight, we tied and through, and you acting like you won that doggone settlement and you didn't. You actually paid. So that means you was lying. That's what we taking from it. And we also are taking from it, something is wrong with you, fat. Something wrong with you in your head. You need to go see a therapist. I'm not going to psychoanalyze you, but you do need to go talk to somebody. Something ain't right. Something happened. Something ain't right. Somebody get down there and go see about Brian McKnight, because he said basically, fuck them churn. Said what he said. That's what he said, girl. And you know, on the onset, it's a big shockwave. But then again, you start to think about it and you go, girl, that's normal, girl. That's what black men been doing. Quiet as it's kept. Thank God my daddy stayed, child. I've been married to my mom for 40 years. And let me tell you something. I ain't in a marriage, but it's a whirlwind. You hear me? But nevertheless, he's still there. He hung in. You feel me? But yeah, Brian McKnight, I almost forgot you had a lazy eye. One of your eyes be going in and out, left and right. Don't make the black community come over there and bat the lazy eye back to being active. Okay, do you hear me? We don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. We don't want to find it. Lil Brian and Brianna, we don't care about Jackie Chan that he just had. Y'all will forever be the heirs to the throne. Now, I can't give you no money, but that's just what I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Brian McKnight, go lay down. Go lay. Anyway, girl, his ex-wife decided to get online and she was sounding like a hippie in the 1960s down that doggone, it wasn't Coachella, whatever it was, when they used to be sitting out there and doing orgies and all that. Ma'am, I can understand why he left you. Something wrong with you. You ain't said nothing. All you did was say, I'm spreading positivity and love. And like, girl, we ain't want to hear that. We wanted you to come out and defend your churn. But you came out here and did what? Absolutely nothing. Ex-Mrs. Brian McKnight, I understand why he left you. I'm sorry. I said that already, but I'm going to say it again because something is really wrong with you. Ma'am, we don't want to see this. We don't want to hear it and we don't want to find it. We only clicked on your video because we thought you was going to lay the rumors about your daughter to rest. But here you are over there looking like a sunflower seed. And you want us to entertain you and whatever you had going on, talking about spreading positive love and light. We don't care about that. Defend your churn. Girl, let's move on to the next story. So now then, Twitter was buzzing and they said that Jonathan Majors was dating Megan Good. And I said, oh, if this ain't giving doggone, what's that dude? Michael B. Jordan and Steve Harvey's whore of a daughter. That's what it's giving. Girl, we don't believe it. I believe it's all cap. Cap. You mean to tell me Jonathan Major's struggle face is dating a black girl? I don't think so. I believe he's always dated white women. I believe this is a PR stunt. This is something to get him back in good graces with the black women who put him on till we found out he around here beating and carrying on with these white girls. Jonathan Majors, we the people not buying it. I'm sorry. We don't buy it. We say it's all cap. Megan Good, you have been people's lapdog for all your career. At some point, get your stuff together. We know you made an agreement, you know what I'm saying, so you can be on his arm or whatever to get the press off for him and all of that. But we the people is saying, go lay Megan Good. You done came from being with the preacher. Apparently you learned nothing because you decided to be with a man on the cusps of fighting a doggone DV charge. Girl, bye. Megan, we gonna cancel your ass if you keep doing this now. You are not Lori Harvey. You are not her. And he ain't no Michael B. Say what I said. Whoever told y'all to put this together and it was gonna work out for the best, the people is saying fire them because it ain't working out. We ain't buying it. I ain't buying it at least. Y'all believe this is right? Y'all believe it's true? I don't know. I feel like it's a PR stunt because the media knows that the people are very, I hate to say it like this, but this is what it is. The people know that, or the media knows that the people are ignorant. They really are. And people are very emotion based and they act off of emotion. And what they see basically dictates their emotion. And having Jonathan Majors pose on side of this black woman, even though we know he don't like no black puss. But having him post on side this black woman was going to be good for his image. And basically it's going to help y'all to go down to the box office in case they really just go ahead on and release his stuff. Girl, Megan Good is not the woman that we would have said, oh, okay, yeah. And then furthermore, you have had a long history of snow bunnies. How Dr. Umar said, you have had a long history of the snow bunny crisis. I do not believe for 1 second, do you hear me, that you decided to come on up out of the snow and into the doggone tropics. I don't believe it. Say what I said. They playing in y'all face. Y'all can believe this if y'all want. They playing in y'all face. They said it was on a date, but don't nobody got no pictures. Girl, they is playing in y'all face. Don't let these people play in y'all face. Do you hear me? Don't let them do it. Basically, the media is playing off our ignorance. That's literally what they are doing. They are literally playing off our ignorance and us not knowing and using this type of stuff for publicity and for images and image control. That's all this is. Girl, listen, between Brian McKnight and Jonathan Majors, this was a lot in a long week. Let me tell you something. Brian McKnight, go to hell. Jonathan Majors, you go to hell too for beating on women. I don't care what color they is. You can go to hell too. And this black woman ain't buying the Kool-Aid. I ain't sipping the Kool-Aid. I'm not. Say what I said. What y'all think? Y'all think Brian McKnight is out of order? Because I believe the whole world thinks he is. And then also with Jonathan Majors, are y'all buying this? Because I know I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm not. It's just not giving truthful. It's giving, girl, let's just go over here and say this so we can get that. Y'all drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all think. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on TikTok, and I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.